I think great quality match. He started off better. I've never played him. I didn't see him play too many times. Maybe few matches in the last few months, and haven't followed his career prior to that. So I didn't know much about him, and had to do some homework and some analysis. But it's different stepping out on the court first time against someone that has really nothing to lose. He's a young, talented player that is very crafty. He's got a really all-round game, and he was pumped. He had the crowd behind him, of course, and he had played a perfect first set. Everything he intended to do, he executed it perfectly. On my end, I was just trying to find the rhythm and trying to read his game, trying to understand, where I can, find holes in his game and start to attack and shift the momentum to my side. That happened already at the beginning of the second set. I broke him early. He broke back, but I re-broke his serve right away. And we had some very, very long rallies, long games, and it took a toll physically, I think, on both of us at that point. But I managed to find the right serves, served efficiently when I needed to, opening up the court, and just third and fourth set were really, really good from my side. I felt I was more dominant. I felt I, decreased the unforced errors that were really high, in the first part of the match. So and just was kind of swinging through the ball better. So it was a good finish. It wasn't a good start, but all in all, expected the battle, and I got that one, and so I'm pleased to overcome it.
Chris, we'll start with you.
You know that, Chris Clary, New York Times. People described his game as unusual and difficult to play against. Would you agree with that? And does this game remind you of anybody you played before?
He absorbs the pace very well, especially from the backhand side. He reminds me of Florian Mayer, and I don't know if you guys know Florian Mayer, but he had this double-handed slice, and very smart player. Maybe not the greatest mover, but Mayer just managed to play on the big stage, pretty well against the players who try to penetrate the ball and kind of dictate the play, stay close to the line. He loved playing with the guys like that, and Brooksby reminds me of him a lot. And I think he's a better mover than Mayer. And he's young. He's 20, so he's got plenty of time. He showed also, I think, mental maturity on the court. Stepped in, and considering the circumstances in his first R2H Stadium match against me in night session, I felt he managed himself very well, and he was motivated, and he did his best. So I have to congratulate him and say that I was impressed with with his game, but also with his behavior. So I think we're going to see a lot of him in the future. I mean, he has the means now. Obviously, a lot of things have to come together, but he's has a bit of an unorthodox game. He plays a lot with the feel, but he's smart. He knows how to win point.
In the back, then Ryan.
Zach, Brazilian New York Post. Novak, after I think in the second set, you broke right back. You had this winner running forehand on a drop shot he had, and he kind of looked like you made eye contact with him for a few seconds. Was it almost kind of like you were starting to kind of figure him out there?
I can't recall exactly the point that you are referring to, but there was a couple of breaks of his serve that I made late in the second, early in the third, that were crucial. So of course, I really wanted him to feel my presence on the court. I wanted the energy to shift on my side, and because he was a better player for set and a half, he was, had the momentum, and he had me on the back foot. So I felt like that was the point where now I got him. He's also was struggling physically a little bit at one point, so I just wanted to wear him down, and it worked.
Ryan?
Brian Mahoney, Associated Press. Novak, there's a lot of people who became tennis players during this pandemic, picked up the game for the first time. Do you think they watched that second set and see how punishing it is and, say, maybe I'll try something else?
Well, I must say that I'm very, very pleased with the amount of people that follow tennis in America. I mean, it's, a lot of people follow US Open. A lot of people know tennis players, particularly in New York during the US Open. It's phenomenal. I mean, we're blessed to have such attention and support. And it's obviously one of the greatest tennis tournaments in the world, in New York. And it's one of the most important cities in the world, of course. So people, I think, missed the action. They missed the entertainment, of course, being locked up for more than a year, and now under certain conditions you're able to go and watch sports live, which is nice. I know that a lot of people back home, for me, in my region, they follow and support, but also it's phenomenal to see the packed house. Arthur Ashe, we haven't had packed stadium for a year and a half, really, in tennis. So we don't want to take this for granted, because we are used to playing in front of the full stadiums over the years, and I've been really fortunate to experience some incredible matches, incredible atmospheres over the years. But last year and a half was tough for everyone. So it's really refreshing, and it's really beautiful to see a full stadium.
Liz, and in the front.
Thanks. Liz Clark from the Washington Post. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Without prying, would you mind if I asked you to share some of the words exchanged at the net? It seemed as if you both had something to say to each other. It seemed fairly sincere,
It was me sharing.
Okay.
He didn't say anything, but I didn't take that in a wrong way. Of course, he was just he lost the match and he was overwhelmed with the experience. Of course, I sincerely felt what I shared with him on the net, that I feel like that he had a great match. It was a great fight. It's tough to lose the match always, of course, but that he has impressed me as a player on the court, and as I mentioned, the way he fought, and that bright future is ahead of him, that he just needs to keep going and keep working and keep believing, because he's definitely got the game and he's got the means to, he's probably going to answer that better, but I think tonight's match, can serve him incredibly well as an example of where his game is at the moment. So he can play equally well with the top players in the world. So it's a long way to get ranking wise up there, but he's definitely on a good trail. He's going in the right direction.
Thanks.
Right here, and then Craig.
Hi, Novak. Megan Black, ESPN. As you get closer and closer to making history, let's look back. What do you recall of your first match in a major in 2005 against Safin, and your first major win soon after against Ginepri?
Yes. I do recall one of the most profound memories of Australian Open 2005 when I qualified and played Safin night session in the center court, is that I was getting a haircut earlier that day, and then wonderful lady, a hairdresser, asked me, "Do you want to do something special for tonight?" And I said, "What are you suggesting?" She said, "Maybe we should color your front part, so if I've never done that in my life." So I said, "You know what, why not?" I was 17, 18 years old, said, if I'm gonna come out on the stage, I might as well do it with style. So it wasn't really very satisfying for my mother to see that. So the conversation we had after was not great for me, but we had a good laugh about it. So that, seems like, seems like ages ago, and it is. I mean, it's been now 16 years since my first center court Grand Slam match and first official main draw match. So it's been a while, but what a great ride. I mean, it's difficult to reflect on everything while you're still, say, in the bus and you're still riding. It's kind of hard. People tend to ask me, how does it feel? Do you comprehend what you've done? And, do you think about, the whole journey? And of course I do, but tennis is such sport that really you have to turn the next page next day. You're done with this tournament. What's the next one? What's the next challenge? What's the next goal you need to achieve? Where are you heading? You don't have much time really and energy to reflect on everything that you've been through. But I try to be grateful about it, and of course, and I appreciate every single step in the journey. And one day, of course, I will, when I don't play professional tennis anymore, I will probably have a little bit of a larger perspective on things and understand what I've been through a little bit better.
Craig, last question.
Novak, Craig Gabriel, 9 Radio Australia. By the way, was that coloured green? I think it might have been. You had your hair coloured green?
No, kind of. I can't recall. It was anyway. blonde, green, something like this.
More importantly, looking ahead. Looking ahead, you've played Matteo a number of times,
yes.
Most recently in the Wimbledon final. What are your thoughts going into that?
Hammer of tennis, next to Del Potro, probably the hardest hitter of serve and forehand. He's got a little, serve plus one game, and he's already established top player, without a doubt. He played a couple of, I think, semifinals here a couple of years ago, and finals in Wimbledon. That was a tough four-setter. Look, if he serves well, which is his biggest weapon, he's tough. He's tough on any surface to play against, and I've had some really close matches with him in French Open and Wimbledon recently. We're going to play the third Grand Slam in a row against each other, and hopefully the result will be the same like the previous two.